Over the next few moments, we're going to learn just a little bit about our own Hilton Head Island Fire Department from Deputy Fire Chief Ed Boring. Ed, first of all, welcome to WHHI.
Thank you for having us.
Sure. We all think that, okay, you've got fire trucks, you've got uniforms, you're all good, everything works well, you're accredited. You must be. But you've been going through a process, actually, over the past little while that gives you an international accreditation. Tell us a little bit about that process and what it means to the fire department.
Well, that's correct. We're an internationally accredited fire department. We're one of about 233 worldwide. We go through a process every 5 years where we go to a commission for the reaccreditation process. So reaccreditation really for us is a couple of different elements. It's the creation of a community risk assessment. So we go out and we look at the community, look at the risks that are inherent within our community. We develop a strategy to combat that risk, and that's called our standards of cover. From there, we take the standards of cover, we measure our performance, and set benchmarks for the future. And that's really the crux of the accreditation process. It's really a continual self-improvement program for the fire department.
Yeah, and having a plan in place. You all were, of course, incredibly busy, gosh, almost coming up on a year since the hurricane. How has your risk assessment changed, and how have procedures changed since Matthew visited?
Well, we've taken a look at our post-hurricane information. We had a wonderful plan in place for the hurricane, as I'm sure you're aware. It worked well. It was not perfect by any means, but we take that data from our responses and compare that to what we had planned for, and that's where we try to find those gaps and formulate those improvement strategies.
So we are better prepared for the next one?
We are.
Okay, let's hope we don't have to use that one for a while. Talk a little more about accreditation. How does that benefit the community? What's in it for us?
Well, so I think one of the best things about international accreditation for our community is that we take a good, solid look at the community through this risk assessment. So we look at our demographics, we look at where the community is going, we really dig into our data and we find those hidden dangers and elements, and then we really develop a robust strategy to combat that.
Where are we most at risk?
Well, I think when you look at our responses, we by far run the most of our calls are emergency medical, and within those we find that as we dig down in, we find that that cardiac emergencies are perhaps the highest. We also have a surprisingly high number of traumas here on Hilton Head, and those are the two places where we focus our response efforts the most in emergency medical services.
Okay, not so much that we can do anything about, although smoke detectors are sure a good idea, aren't they?
Well, yes, we do have a significant fire risk here as well. And again, in the community risk assessment, it plays forward not just in our responses to emergencies, but in our ability to educate the public and get out in front of some of those types of concerns.
Well, you all have done a terrific job with all of that. We appreciate the time to come in and let us know that we are reaccredited again for 5 more years. And this is what, the 4th or 5th time you've been through this?
This will be our 4th reaccreditation, so we're heading into 20 years of this continued improvement process.
That's fantastic. Deputy Fire Chief Ed Boring, thanks so much for joining us on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you.